Hey there, my name is Valerie, and today I'd like to walk you through the gathering of Israel. Did you know that there are 7 differences between what members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints believe about the gathering of Israel versus Jews and other Christians? The biggest difference is probably this one, the timing and spark of the Latter-day gathering. For Jews and most Christians, they would say that the Latter-day gathering of the House of Israel started in 1897. At that time, there was a Zionist movement led by a man named Theodor Herzl in response to rising anti-Semitism in Europe. For members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, they'll probably cite either the year of 1820 or 1830. In 1820, a young man by the name of Joseph Smith went into the woods behind his home to pray and ask a question of God. That question was, "What church should I join?" In response to his question, God the Father and Jesus Christ both appeared to him and told him not to join any church because they had a work for him to do, and that work was to restore the Church of Jesus Christ on the earth again in the latter days. So that visit was in 1820, and the church itself was founded in 1830. The second biggest difference is, how do you define the House of Israel? For Jews and most Christians, it's defined as the Jewish people. If you want to get even more specific about spiritually who that is, it's Jews who adhere to the covenants between God and the Israelites as outlined in the Torah. For members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the way that we look at it is we're all God's children, and belonging to the house of Israel means joining Jesus Christ's restored church and choosing a covenant relationship with him. That means receiving baptism, the gift of the Holy Ghost, taking the sacrament each week, making additional covenants in the temple, etc. A third difference is the geography of the gathering. So for Jews and most Christians, they would say that the house of Israel is gathering to Israel. For members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, we would say that the gathering is happening worldwide because it's based on covenants, your response to the way that Jesus Christ has provided. Another big differentiator is the role of the Gentiles. So for Jews and most Christians, how are they helping to gather Israel? Well, they're doing it through advocacy, financial support, interfaith dialogue and cooperation, and prayer and spiritual support. So for members of my faith, we do the same thing, but we also have a really huge emphasis on sending missionaries worldwide to teach all of God's children that the gospel has been restored. And in their regions, we also build chapels and temples to bring the gospel to the people. A fifth big difference is the spiritual gathering. Now, I don't know about Jews, but I would say that for most Christians, when you ask them the question, how are you spiritually gathering Israel? They would say that they are converting Jews to Jesus Christ. They're trying to persuade them that, Jews, please don't wait for a different Messiah. The Messiah has come, and that Messiah is Jesus Christ. So we're on the same page with them there. We also are trying to convert Jews to Jesus Christ, but we're trying to convert them to his restored church. So Jewish people, remember when you had that priesthood authority and a prophet was on the earth and 12 apostles, and you went to temples and you had that covenant relationship. They may feel that they have some of these things today, but all of these things have been restored to the earth, and we invite them and all Christians to come and see. A sixth difference is priesthood restoration. So for Jews and most Christians, they may not emphasize the restoration of priesthood authority as part of the gathering of Israel. So if I am wrong about that in some nuanced way, then please educate me and feel free to comment in the comments. But for members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, I do know that restoration of priesthood authority is a crucial aspect of the gathering of Israel for them. It's necessary for the salvation and exaltation of God's children. And the reason for that is that God's house is a house of order. Jesus Christ personally selects his prophet. He personally selects his 12 apostles. He knows these men, and he commissions them to teach the rest of his church, and he communicates his will to them, who then relay it down to the people. So that's why priesthood authority, which is the authority to act in God's name, is so crucial for his gathering because God needs to do it in his way. Lastly, on modern revelation. So I believe that Jews and most Christians rely on biblical prophecy for understanding the future gathering of Israel. For members of my faith, we rely on continuous revelation through modern day prophets and additional scriptures. So there on the right, you see our current prophet, which is President Russell M. Nelson. And we also have additional scriptures such as the Book of Mormon. And all of these sources give us further insight and instructions for the gathering of Israel. Hope you enjoyed today's presentation. If you like it, please show it by subscribing, liking, watching, sharing, and doing notifications. Thank you so much for your time.